Okay. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I am going live for the first time on YouTube. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And I am Schubert Jean Baptiste, Schubert Abreu. Welcome to Multiverse Teach with Schubert Abreu. And what I'm going to be discussing today is about autism. This is Autism episode 1, and I'm going to discuss about the red flags, signs of autism, what should you see when someone has autism, all of the early signs for you to look for. And you guys can always, whether someone's here or not right now, you can always go and watch this video later on. We will be doing this video in both languages, in English and some Haitian Creole language. This channel is also used for, we want a multi-diverse people to come on. So this is why we will not just be basing our channel on just one language. Okay, we want a diverse of community. So yes. Okay. Um, what is autism? Okay, so autism is ASD is short for autism spectrum disorder. And what it is, it's a neurodevelopmental disorder, which is defined by persistent deficits in problem areas as in social communication and social interaction, which it's it has repetitive patterns, repetitive behaviors that a child or someone do engage in, interests that are very repetitive, that they fixate on, or activities. Okay. Autism, autis ki sa liye, li se yon problem sou afe developmental, neurodevelopmental problem. Sa ve di son problem ki soti e pa nan ko, se depi nan bren, nan tet li soti. Ok? Ki bay, ki vreman persistant e ki bay yon defisi, un problem nan komunikasyon sosyalman parlant, e defwa moun yo kan gen problem pou yo genye interaksyon sosyal, e sa ke yo kon fè, li kon se defwa behavior, ça veut dire comportement yo, li kon vraiment répétitif, ou bien intérêt yo répétitif, ou bien activité que y a fait répétitif. OK. Ki sa wap chache nan yon moun ki gen autisme, autism. OK. OK, signe autisme lan, c'est moun ki usuellement, OK, li évident depuis nan ti moun, depuis nan ti moun nan ti bébé, lel ti moun. OK? Autisme lan, li vraiment yon bagay kote ke moun nan yo diagnose li pour la vie avec li, à moins que go miracle ki fait. Okay, the ASD is usually evident in childhood, and it's evident in childhood, and they are normally diagnosed with it for a lifetime. Okay, it's a lifelong diagnosis, and but there's intervention services for people with autism. Okay, gen service pou moun ki gen problem autisme. And sa, le recevoir service lan, intervention sa yo, kapab ede ti moun nan, kapab ede l pou komanse mieux, pou komanse kon sa pou l fè nan environnement li. Okay. So, there's things that people do think about when it comes to autism, that autism is very severe all the time and they cannot go to school, or when they go to school, they are doing poorly in school. They do not do well in school. It's a myth. It's not real. It's not true. Sometimes, depending on the level of the autism, because there's severity, mild, moderate, depending on the level, So that child at times can do well, depending on the levels. And usually some of them do receive therapists. So ça dépend de level autisme là. Tant que chaque maladie, chaque problème toujours gagne on level. Gen moun ki genyen un problème sévère, gen moun ki gen le modéré, gen moun ki gen li vraiment comme si mild, ça veut dire ou pas même presque senti symptômes, pas presque gen un pile problème même jak ça sévère là. OK? OK. Um So, autism nan, ok, li kapab yon problem disorder. Ça veut dire li kapab yon diagnostic complex. It can be a complex disorder, okay? So, but when with help, sometimes they receive behavior analysts who go to their home. They receive, depending what other problems they have. So they have behavior technicians who go into the home or the center or school to give those people, those children, therapy. Okay, and some parents do oppose to that, and some are not. So we want to say that gen parents qui opposé avec thérapie et gen qui pas gen problème avec ça. OK? Et ça que nous besoin connaître, nous besoin faut connaître, c'est qu'on y a la problème signe que ti moun nan kon présenter. Okay? Red flags that the child normally display, those are the red flags. Okay? So sometimes as early as 2, 3 years old, doctors normally the parents have to take them when they start seeing flags to a developmental pediatrician, behavioral pediatrician, or a neurologist. Des fois, les parents yo komanse wè sign nan ti moun yo pran yo mène yo al wè yon developmental behavioral pediatre ou bien yon neurologue. Okay? Now, the red flags that we should be able to see qui komanse, c'est depuis nan social communication. OK? Premier signe qu'on apwe qui gen un rapport pour montrer que ti moun nan gen problème ASD, autisme, ça veut dire li commence depuis dans communication sociale. Okay, let me fix this better. Okay? En communication sociale. And communication sociale là, c'est qui ça lié. Faut que moun capable socialiser. Faut capable parler à moun pour faire interaction à moun. Faut l'air que wap engage en langage, OK? Gen le bagay ou capable imiter yon moun, ou capable copier yon moun, ou capable faire vice versa avec yon moun, OK? Et qui doit un genre comme si qui plus facile que nous connaissons des moun qui normalement ça veut dire que yon moun gen problème sur sa communication, ça veut dire déjà gen autisme. Il y a un pile différents signes que la baille, mais ça c'est une là de yo koka ouais. Those are one of the signs that you can see. It doesn't mean if someone has a problem having a hard time with social engagement, that doesn't mean they automatically already have autism. Okay. Now, what they will be showing is limited use of gestures, such as giving and showing and waving and clapping or pointing, nodding their head. So they can be delayed in speech, or they're not chatting, they're not babbling, they're not making any sounds. They can have, this is why sometimes normally some kids with autism, sometimes they are receiving speech therapy as well. Speech language pathologists that work with them get si moun des fois qui gen konne problème autiste, des fois ils connaissent recevoir moun qui c'est thérapie speech language pathologist, speech therapist qui kon travaille avec yo. Okay? Yo kon fè bruit qui kon pa normal sometimes. They engage themselves in sounds that are abnormal. They make voices, or I'm not saying all of them have all of those characteristics, but they may take one of those characteristics that I'm going to mention on social communication, and then another kid can take a different one. OK, m'a dit que yo genyen tout caractéristique ça yo que m'a bay, mais yo kon pran yon grain dans tout ça yo m'al di an, et puis qui dans seulement social communication parti ça, et puis nous genyen comme si interaction sociale nous genyen moto comportement qui que qu'on gen qu'on fait comme ça. Gen kon fè kon sa, gen kon fè kon sa, ou bien yo fikse non bagay, yo pa vreman gade lò rele yo pa koumen konen ko rele yo, e pa problem zore yo gen. Sometimes they're fixated on an activity, or they're flapping their hands doing these things and movements. You call them, they're not responding to their names. So it's all of these things, okay? They're not making eye contact. They have difficulty making eye contact. The gestures and all of that stuff. Sometimes they have a problem with, maybe they stop using words, or they actually uh, uh, go and regress. There's regression as well. Kote ke kon yo komanse fon bagay le yo te non l'âge ki jeune, et puis même kote yan, yo fè back. Yo te komanse ap fè, et puis yo vin fè back. Sometimes what they do is they cannot even imitate, they cannot even engage in pretend play, or they don't even understand certain jokes. Des fois, ils ne pas même qu'à imiter, ou bien ils ne pas même comprendre une série de blagues. Ils comprennent blague là en façon différente de une série de l'autre monde. OK? OK. So, men lot anko bagay ke nou pal pale, yo kon pa men fè kontak zye lor ele yo. Ou bien lor ele yo a pala avon, ou yo gen tet yo a te, they have their head down when you're talking to them sometimes. They can do that. Not all of them do, but sometimes here a few can take that characteristic. And because autism does not look the same in everybody, okay? Mbe je fè nou konen, autisme pa semble même jan nan tout moun. Li pa kom si peut-être ou ça gen autisme li agi comme ça veut dire ou parlons l'autre gen autisme et puis ça veut dire faut l'agir même genre ou te ouais que côté ouais youn déjà qui te gen autisme. Okay, so you might see this person with autism acting like this. It doesn't mean that same other kid you're going to see will act the same way. So they all don't, they're not the same. Okay, every one of them is unique, smart in their own way. Okay, now on lot bagay ankor, yo kon pa même share, yo kon pa vle hug ou, yo kon pa montre la joie. Gen montre la joie, mais gen pa montre la joie. So yo kon pa même montre joie yo, yo comme si share joie yo avec yon lot moun, ou intérieur avec yon lot moun. Okay? So, nou kon genye tou, what other problem that they do engage in is even body movements, unusual body movements, or tics. Okay, you can get tic, ou bien you can get movement nan kor yo ki ati jan bizar. Okay, yo develope yon bagay ki rituel, yon pattern que faut yo fait tout le temps nan même façon. Si que y a joué à machine nan, faut yo jouer avec nan même façon, ou bien yo kon préfère yon couleur de yon machine, de yon jouet que yon lot. You can pas gen diverse variété. A lot of them may not have a diverse variety of things. They stick to rituals, to routines, okay? Or they're repeating the same things and sounds over and over. Ya répéter même bagay lan, yo fait même action, yo refel encore, okay? You can faire ça. Sometimes they can do this. Okay? And it can be something like this. It can be anything. It can be like something like this. They stop, they do it again. They stop, they do it again. Okay? Des fois, yo kon gen problem sensory. Sensory, c'est comme si moi mette toutes sortes de jaquettes sous moi, moi mette toutes sortes de couleurs sous moi. Gen la de qui doit spécifier qui couleur jaquette tu peux mettre et qui couleur texture jaquette là yo do qui li doye. Et c'est coton, on dit que c'est seulement coton li accepté. Only cotton. Some of them will just say I only accept cotton on my skin, or something that is very smooth on my skin, nothing else. Yo kon vraiment ça c'est yo kon sensible, Okay, they're sensory seeking, they're very sensitive. Um, ok, gen de lè, yo do a di, m pap seve avèk pat sa tro strong pou mwen, tandis ke mwen m ap seve a nepot pat. Okay, so for them, this is going to be stronger, a stronger kind of a toothpaste for them, so they won't use it. We have here loud noises. Gen do a se vacuum nan blender an, kap fè an bruit ki fort, et puis yo fè ça. Mwen ma avon nou pap gen aucun problème de blender, de yon bagay. Mais yon lot ki do a gen autism, et puis pa gen problème avec blender, pa gen problème avec ça. So another one may have autism and they have no issues with the sounds of blender, with the sounds of a vacuum, they might not do it, but one may have that problem. Okay? So, se tout problem sa yo ki kon genyen, ko kon we, yo an reta peut-être nan développement yo, genyen ki très smart, yo kon vraiment very, very smart, mais yo kon genyen ti problem karakteristik bizarre. Some of them can have a little bizarre characteristic, but some of them can be very extremely smart. So, and they're smart in their own way. So, having a child with autism does not mean life is over, because some of them can just be very smart. They don't even look or show that they do. So, it doesn't mean life is over. We have some people who are innovators, inventors. They had autism and they were very smart. They're very smart and they had autism. They just had a characteristic of something in autism that defined them, that they fell under the spectrum. Gen ki moun ki gros innovateur, gros inventeur qui te gen autisme. Seulement, yo te gen yon karakteristik, kek bagay yo te montre ki te fè yo, kek karakteristik ki montre que yo tombe en bas ombrelle et puis yo gen autisme. Ok, est-ce que il y a différentes qualités de autisme? Yes, there are. There's different types of people with autism. Ok, genye ki rele pervasive developmental disorder. Ok, pou term sa yo, yo signifi men bagay lan nan liv DSM-4, nan 4e édition DSM-4. Diagnostic pour diagnostic tout bagay sa yo, okay? So, na diagnostic manual mental disorders, okay, DSM-4, yo kon genye bagay sa yo montre, ou bien yo kon genye Asperger. Sometimes they have, it can be Asperger's, it can be Rett syndrome, it can be pervasive developmental disorder. Okay, all of those, they fall under the characteristic of autism. Some of them can be hyperactive. Some of them can have attention deficit disorder, and then they fall under having autism. Now, let's see. I'm not quite sure if I can share screen on this. So this is my first time doing this, using that. But let's see. Hopefully it doesn't end my live if I go on to a different screen. Okay. So let's, just so I can talk more about this. Okay. One more thing que m'ge pou m'pale, pou m'explike pi bien nan karakteristik moun ki gen problem autisme yo, ki moun yo ye, takou Down syndrome de fwa yo kon gen an ba autisme, okay? Me ki sa yo ye sa m'so di ya? What are they? What I just mentioned, Asperger's, pervasive. What are these things? Down syndrome. Ki sa yo ye? Okay? Okay. On nous parler de syndrome Asperger's. Asperger's syndrome is what doctors call a high functioning type of autism. This translates that the symptoms are less severe. Okay, people with Asperger's are just as smart as any other person. However, they may have trouble on the social skills side of it and an obsessive focus on one topic. Syndrome Asperger là, c'est docteur Asperger a c'est ça docteur relé yon nan qualité autisme autiste qui pi yon fonction mentale qui pi ou passer toute l'autre autisme, OK? Autisme ça traduit que symptômes yo moins grave, OK? Moun ak Asperger yo Asperger yo c'est juste comme yo intelligent. Yo intelligent comme n'importe qui l'autre monde. Cependant, yo ka gen problème sous adresse sociale ak yo doit des fois yo concentré yo nan yo kon gen une obsession ya concentré yo sur un sujet ou bien sur un objet, OK? Nou gen pervasive developmental disorder ki sa liye. It's even on the highest functioning of ASD, of autism. It's a higher functioning even than Asperger's. This diagnosis typically meets the basic requirements for people with autism. They tend to have challenges in social and language development. So, pervasive developmental disorder, hein, c'est même fonction hein, qui même, je pense que avec donc, seulement plus haut toujours que Asperger là, ok? Et les fonctionner passer Asperger, hein, un diagnostic ça, les même typiquement satisfait conditions de base yo pour monde qui gagne autisme, yo gagne tendance gagne problème dans développement social avec langage, ok? Now, Down syndrome, c'est une l'autre encore, okay? Lui-même, it's known as trisomy 21, which means that they have 3 copies of chromosome 21, okay? Down syndrome, like it can be very apparent. It is evident on facial appearance, intellectual disabilities, developmental delays, and even associated with heart disease. Down syndrome nan ki sa liye ki se trisonomie 21 qui veut dire yo gen copie 3 nan chromosome yo 21, c'est plus passé 200 000. OK? Cas qui gagne dans les États-Unis, 200,000 cases in the US every year. So, moun ki gen Down syndrome yo ka très apparent ou ka wè sa nan visage yo figure ti jan plus vide. OK? Li évident sous apparence dans figure, handicap intellectuel yo en retard développemental parlant des fois, mais pas tout, je me dire, et ak même qui associé ak maladie ke. Yo kon gen maladie ke des fois. Okay? Nou genye Rett syndrome. Rett syndrome is extremely a rare case of autism, mostly affecting brain development in girls. Retts lead to severe impairments affecting every aspect in their lives. It affects their progressive motor loss, as in walking, eating, speaking, and even breathing. So, Rett syndrome nan ki sa liye, sa li même li très rare nan ka moun ki gen autisme, surtout li affecte développement nan cerveau ti fi plus. Rett la ki sa liye li mene un handicap. Li kon fè moun yo handicapé ki vraiment grave, qui ka affecte chaque aspect dans la vie. La vie yo, mais c'est plus fi. OK, li affecte progrès yo nan yo kon pa ka fè mouvement et mouvement pour yo marcher, manger, parler et même respirer. OK? All right. Nous gagnons l'autre encore. Ça lui-même, c'est Child Disintegrative Disorder. Ça lui-même, c'est l'autre cas autisme. Mes amis, si nous pour nous parler tout cas et tout signe, mes amis, nous pouvons jamais finir. Et c'est un sujet qui est très sensible, OK? Et gen la dan yo qui kon pa même qui kon ignore danger dans monde qui gen autisme. Sometimes some people with autism, sometimes they ignore danger. They can be hyperactive. You ka hyperactif. Yo toujours kon bagay pou yap fè. Gen le tout j'aime te dire pas tolérer un pile bruit, ça dépend de qui bruit. Gen la de OK doit ba yo hug, yo aime ça, mais gen la de wap bal hug li pa vle hug là, surtout s'il pas connaît. Gen moun mwen connaît qui gen autism, wap essayer ba yo hug, yo pa vle pon hug là, yo ti jan bagay. Okay? So some of them you can try to hug them, they don't accept the hug. Now we're going to be talking and doing a different live on episode 2 for to talk more about childhood disintegrative disorder. Okay, and we would love to really talk about, we spoke about the signs, but we will talk about the heavy metals that they find in children and people with autism. So we would like to talk about. Nous allons parler dans le deuxième épisode. Ça que qu'on joue dans moun qui autiste, des fois qu'on gagne métal, qu'on ouais qui nan yo, qu'on gagne métal qui lourd en dedans yo, qui doit causer une série de réactions dans yo. Donc on parler ça c'est un sujet qui est très sensible. OK? Donc on parler de toute cause yo, tout facteur risque facteur yo, tout bagay net qui ka cause yo moun gen autisme, qui ka cause un petit moun fait avec autisme. OK, et que yon fille de prendre précaution et un garçon de prendre précaution, OK, pour leur faire ti moun, tout bagay ça, gen moun qui a boire, fumer tout, some people they are drinking and smoking. We will talk about this subject on a different occasion on episode 2. Dans le deuxième épisode, nous allons parler de ça, OK? Thank you so much. Bye-bye. We try to do videos of under 30 minutes, 20 to 25, 30 minutes. Nous essayons de faire vidéo 20, 25 à 30 minutes pour moun ka toujours gen chance pour regarder, pour pas fatiguer de informations que nous avons. Donc, nous parler de l'épisode 2. OK? Yon l'autre. OK. Bye. Toodaloo. Ciao.